MacDonald. How are you?
Hi, Erica. How are you?
Well, I am happy as a clam, even though it is pouring down rain, because I'm just sitting here listening to Ain't No Way.
Oh, do you like it?
Like it. I love it. I give it 1,000,000 stars.
Oh, no way. Oh,
Ain't no way.
That's so sweet.
And I have to tell you, I love the word ain't because doesn't it just give it that extra oomph, Jamie?
It does. When we were writing it, I was like, I don't know if we can say this, guys. It's like, am I being dorky? I don't know. Ain't no way. But then I was just like, you know what? I say it in other songs. I'm just going with it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's an extra oomph. I mean, even the English teachers are loving it. I'm just going out on a limb and saying that.
that's hilarious. Well, I'm so glad you love it. That makes me so happy. I haven't got to hear a lot of feedback yet because the song's so new. And so it means a lot that you're really enjoying it.
Well, it sounds like sunshine bouncing over the radio, and we really need that in Seattle right now. It's been like winter came at the last minute. And I'm wondering, are you a fan of rain?
Okay, crazy. Did you know I lived in Seattle for
You live here now?
a year? No. I lived there for a year, though.
Oh!
And it was too rainy for me.
How did you beat the rainy day blues?
Let's see. Well, I started out like writing sad songs, and I wrote honestly, the songs I wrote when I lived in Seattle are the first songs that like ever got me any traction as an artist. Like, because they were sad, but they were like from the depths, and I found hope there. So it was kind of cool. It like brought out some really nice songs. So I guess that was my therapy.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I did learn about you today that you are a sunset chaser. You and I have that in common. What is it like? What are you feeling when you're sitting watching the sunset?
Oh, man, I love this conversation already. I honestly just feel like an overwhelming peace. I really feel close to God when I look at the things that He's made. And, if you're stuck inside all the time, it's like we're looking at everything that we made. But when I get outside and see what He created, and, He's just speaking through it constantly. And so I just learned to listen to His voice and encounter Him through all of His creation. So I love doing that, and it gets me fueled for, regular life, I guess.
Yes. And in your Instagram post with your adorable puppy and the sunset that you chased, you said something that really resonated with me. You said, God designed us to enjoy Him. And Jamie, I feel like we get so caught up in trying to please Him.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
So is that your way of enjoying Him?
Oh, absolutely. And, I can feel His joy too when I take the time to like look closer at a certain flower, or I remember this one time I was walking through, I was actually in the redwood forest, and there was all these clovers covering the ground, and they were green, but I just got curious, and for some reason I decided to like flip one over, and underneath they're all bright purple, but you would never know that if you didn't flip it up.
Wow.
And so I'm just like, there's so many secrets and so many amazing things that He designed that, if we just look a little closer and just find the wonder, find the joy and the treasure hunt of all the things that He made. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's like an Easter egg hunt. He puts Easter eggs for us everywhere if we just look around.
I know. And, as I grow in the Lord, it's like my wonder only grows, my childlike wonder. And I love looking at the stars. And I was telling my team the other night on the bus, I was like, as soon as I get like my first like paycheck for real, I was like, I want to buy a nice telescope so we can all look at the stars like as we travel.
Yes. Do you know here in Seattle, I don't know if you remember this because you lived here, but people have telescopes in their windows all over the place.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know that.
Up and down the sound. If your house faces the sound, there's probably a telescope up in the window.
Oh, that's so cool.
I like to see whales. I enjoy God through His whales.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I got to see a couple when I was out there, and it just became an obsession. And I loved living in Seattle, but it's just the long rainy season. And then I moved to Portland.
Wow.
And while I was in Portland for, I think it was a year, they hit the record amount of rainy days in a row. I think it was like 200 something. I was like, get me out of here.
I'm so glad you're still writing songs, though. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Easter. Little Jamie MacDonald, did you wear the Easter dress? I had the patent leather white Mary Janes. Did you carry a little basket? What did it look like for you?
When I was little?
Yeah.
Ooh, definitely the really fluffy socks, like
Yep.
fluffy rolled socks, which I wear now. Honestly, I brought them back, and they're a big part of
Yes.
my wardrobe. And then like the biggest poofy bangs and poofy hair you can imagine, and then a frilly, probably light yellow dress. That's what's coming to mind.
Let's give it up for pastels today.
Yes, I love that.
Do you have a favorite Easter candy?
I love those Cadbury, the tiny little crunchy ones.
The
I can't remember.
crackly. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
those are addicting. They're so good. And my mom always loved those. And I think when I was a kid, I thought they were a little bit boring because you always want like the peeps or like the colorful, crazy looking candy. But now I get it. Those things are good.
Wow. Well, let's talk about a little deeper about Easter. It is such a remarkable thing that we're getting ready to celebrate. I love entering into Good Friday, remembering how much I'm loved, and then that celebration on Easter Sunday of knowing Jesus did it all. He paid it all. What does that whole weekend mean to you?
I mean, honestly, I came from such a broken past. And so to be saved and for just the whole good news of the gospel, it was really, really good news for me because I was so lost and so broken. And so I just get an overwhelming gratitude, and even just like the thought that he really has, because of the cross, he really has chosen to forget our past. And he said he cast our sins as far as the east is from the west. So not only did he pay for them, but he also chooses to not remember them anymore. And I think we remind ourselves and hang things over ourselves, but just to know that he's so gracious and so kind and loving that he would even choose to forget. And so, I'm just overwhelmed by his love, especially on Easter.
Me too. There are so many miracles in the Bible, and I love how you start your song, Ain't No Way, about how every miracle starts with a problem. So I'm wondering, what's your favorite miracle story in the Bible? Because I'm going with Lazarus.
Ooh. Well, let me think about that for a second. Lazarus is a good one. I'm so obsessed with The Chosen, so now I'm like seeing all the scenes from The Chosen in my brain. Now that you said that, but I really love. The scene of Jesus turning water into wine. Something about that I love, and I think it's because he's just like he wants to be where the people are, and he likes to have fun. And I don't drink. I've been sober for 7 years, but something about just the wedding feast and imagining Jesus like having fun with everyone and wanting to keep the fun going and doesn't want them to run out of wine. I just think that it kind of rocks my world of who God is and who Jesus is, and how much he loves just celebration and joy.
And how he dances. That's what I love about that scene.
Yes. I was like trying not to mix up the scene with the real scripture in my head right now, but I'm like, does he dance? I don't know, but I love that scene, and now it's like what lives in my mind.
Jamie, I just went to Chosen Con. It was one of my favorite things I've ever done. And there's this moment where Phil Wickham is leading us in worship. And he goes, everybody say hi to my friend Jonathan Rumi. And Jesus/Jonathan runs out. But wait, Jamie, he drums. So he's on the drums. And Phil's guitar. I almost died of joy.
Honestly, me too. I was just like staring like, Jesus is a good drummer.
I'm so glad you saw it. Okay, final question. We have 1 minute, and I'm going to use it, girlfriend. I want to ask you about, in your song, you talk about God never fails us, never lets us down, but people do. So how do we distinguish those two? How do we remember that God is always faithful?
I would just say, journaling and keeping track of, your walk with him, because I've looked through my old journals and desperate prayers that I prayed. And, sometimes I forget to check back and say, oh, he did answer that.
Yes.
He's, and not in my timing, of course, but like he really does show up and work things out. And I think it's so important to make sure we're keeping track of the things we're asking and just noticing his faithfulness when it's time. But I think as far as like people letting us down, I think we can just expect that's going to happen, and maybe even humbling ourselves a little to say, even I've let other people down, and that's going to happen. And so to just say, we live in a broken world, and one thing that never changes is his faithfulness. And so really leaning into that, I would say that's probably going to be the best thing.
I'm leaning in with you. Jamie MacDonald, she is a sunset chaser, a worship leader, and an incredible songwriter. Keep writing. I love having you on.
Thanks, Erica. You are just such a beam of joy. I'm just smiling ear to ear, and I hope we can hang out soon.
I hope so too. God bless you, my sweet friend.